Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Where trading is made easy with a high level of clarity. And as we all know, today is Wednesday, and Wednesdays we give top-down analysis on what to expect in the market. And today I have few pairs that I'll be running top-down analysis on, and also I'll be going more deeper on DSY for you to understand what is currently happening in the market. Because when you talk about DSY controls all the dollar pairs, right? Because dollar is kind of having some funny behaviors. So we're going to see all these things in this video. So this video you wouldn't want to miss. Stay with us to the end of this video, because at the end of this video you will get so many value that you can add to your own trading career in order to maximize your chance of winning in the market. So without wasting time, let's begin. Now, today we are starting with gold. Today, now in my previous video, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting this bullish movement from this particular place. Why? Because we have this order block here, and whenever you see order block on 4 hours or on daily or weekly, it tends to be very, very strong. At least we are going to see some reactions before it is broken. So that's exactly what we saw, and gold has did exactly that. And in my previous video, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting at least a move to this particular place, covering this particular gap that we are seeing. Because whenever we see some imbalance in the market like this, or fair value gap, we expect the market to come and close it before we see any other movement to the downside or to the opposite direction. Now, if you have been on this channel for the first time, I've always explained this. Whenever you see market moving to the upside and the market created low without this low taking out any liquidity, after moving to the upside, the market will come back to take that low, coming to other block of fair value gap before continuation to the upside. And that's exactly what we have here. When you look at this place, we can see that during this move to the upside, the market created, first of all, the fair value gap we are seeing at this particular place. The second thing that it created happened to be this low, and this low did not sweep any liquidity. It broke to the upside. What were we expecting? We are expecting market to come below it, take it out before we see more continuation to the upside. And that's exactly what the market has done. And coupled with, whenever you have a price like this that is moving to the upside without full retest of structure or leaving gaps behind, definitely market will always come to take them out before continuation. And that's exactly what gold has done, because all these things we covered it in our gold. By the way, I spoke about gold when it was here, explaining all the reasons why we should be seeing this move to the upside. I spoke about gold when it was here, explaining all the reasons why we should expect this to this down move. Why? Because when we get to our daily time frame, we can discover that gold tapped inside this particular order block on daily before we started seeing this move to the downside. So I would recommend you go through my previous video, because from it you can learn a lot to add to your trading career. Without wasting time, let's proceed. Now, when we look at what we have at this particular place, we will discover that we have a market that broke to the upside. And whenever we have a resistance like this, when it is taken to the upside, what's happened? That resistance will turn to be um we turn to be demand level, which is what when resistance is broken, it will now turn to support level. So having this in mind, know that we are going to still be expecting more bullish price today upside, because when you look at this, the market was creating series of lower lows and lower highs here. But currently we have had that inversion of trend, creating of higher highs now and higher lows. And when market is creating higher highs and higher low, what do? You join the trend, taking it to the direction. And remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. So without wasting time, let's proceed. Now, when we drop down to the 1 hour, what do you see? Now, you can see how this market, immediately it came to this order block, right? It changed from creating series of lower lows and lower highs to now creating higher highs and higher low. So far the market is creating higher highs and higher lows. What do? You continue looking for the position to the actual trend direction. So let's delete this. By the way, some of the people that open this trade here, I believe that you must have enjoyed some profit. So congratulations to you. So what are we expecting in gold right now? First of all, I've taught us that whenever you want to get any trade, immediately you come to the market, the first thing you have to identify is the trend of the market. Now, this market is creating series of higher highs and higher lows, as you can see. So, and when you look at this market creating higher highs and higher low, you can see how the market is coming back to every other block that's was left behind. He never wanted to leave any other block behind. And now what do we have? We currently have this other block that is yet to be tested. Now this other block has been tested. This other block has been tested, right? And this other block is yet to be tested. What are we expecting? We're expecting market to come to this particular place before we start looking for more continuation today upside. But before doing that, I want you to observe something, right? Now, when you look at what we currently have here, you can see that we have open price at this particular place. And whenever we have open price like this, it sometimes serves as magnet to the market. And coupled with what we are having right now, we have so many liquidity resting below each swing low, right? So let's keep this in mind and drop down to 15 minutes. Now on 15 minutes right now, what do you see? Okay, before we come to 15 minutes, let's go back to 1 hour to see some vital zones. Let's go to 1 hour. Now this is 1 hour. Let's identify this other block first. Yes. So now let's go to 15 minutes. Now on 15 minutes, what do we have here? On 15 minutes, we have a low that has created a higher high, right? It has created a higher high now. And this high created there has created another low. But guess what? This low did not take out any liquidity. So this is a very good one because this low did not take any liquidity and it has created a new higher high. So what are you expecting? Since we have something like this, we should be expecting this low to be taken as liquidity. So once this low is taken as liquidity, where is the next place that you are seeing that the market is going to come to? Now watch right now. If you have been on this channel for the first time, whenever you see fair value gap like this, it makes the market to be very, very strong. And when we look at it, we can see that fair value gap below this particular place. So what are we expecting? We're expecting the market to come down and fill this and having this low that needs to be cleared. This is giving us more strong confluence. So what are we expecting? So on gold, I'll be looking for that position at this particular place, right? My stop loss just right below this. And my take profit is going to be 3-to-1 risk reward. Remember, don't be greedy in the market, right? Or you can now look for this particular high to be taken out. But as you're doing that, remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. When you look at it right now, we have a low that is here that did not take out any other low, right? Now, when you look at it strategically, you will discover that this low did not take out any low, and that opens door to this particular low that we are seeing here, and also that could be used for as order block. Nice one. Market had already taken this out at the point of our analysis. So in this situation right now, we should be expecting that change of character at this particular place before making any entry. Now, when you look at what we have here, right, you will discover that this particular market, this low, is what I am going to consider as my strong low. Why? Because this low took out this liquidity here before continuation to the upside. So on any time you see a low that took out liquidity, that low turns to be a very strong low. So in this situation, what are we going to do? We are not going to take this into account, right? Rather, we are going to be looking for that change of character at this particular place. And once this place failed to hold, we should be looking for that change of character at this particular zone, right? Why? Because this low swept liquidity. When you look at it, this market created this high, right? And this high created this particular low. And this low started creating higher highs and higher low. And created this high here, this internal high, and this internal high created this low that caused that break of structure at this particular place, if you can see it. So after this high was created, the market gave us this low that went up before coming to take out this internal structure before break to the upside. So in this situation, I'm going to be approaching this market strategically, which means this place is going to be my first entry. Why? Because we have a very good order block, and we have a liquidity that has been taken out. So we should be expecting this market to change trend at this particular place. Sorry, to change character at this particular place, or I start looking for another entry at this particular zone. Now, remember, don't be aggressive in the market sometimes because trading is reactive and not predictive. Remember, first you go for 3-to-1 risk reward, then you can target to the what previous high that will be taken out, because this is what we consider as external liquidity. So on gold, these are the entries that I am looking at. But remember, we still have open price here. If the market decides to come down to take out all this internal liquidity, then I will be focusing at this particular place. Why? Because this low cleared this low, and this happened to be a strong order block that we are seeing at this particular place, because it's order block on 4 hours. So, and only any order block on 4 hours happens to be very, very strong. So on gold, as you can see, I'll be looking for those entry at this particular place. But if the market decides to come down to this place, I will still be taking this market to the upside, which means market wants to use all these internal structures as liquidity before continuation to the upside. So on gold, these are the entries that I will be looking for. So let's continue. I still have another entry on EURUSD. Now on EURUSD, everything is quite defined. On EURUSD, when we get to 4 hours, we can see that the market is creating series of lower lows and lower highs. And by the way, I will, on EURUSD, I spoke about this market when it was here, explain all the reasons why we should be expecting the market to take out all this internal structure before we start seeing continuation to the downside. And I spoke about EURUSD when it was here, covering all these moves. So I will suggest you go to my previous video so that you will have more confidence in some of the things that we are teaching at this particular place. Because when you come to direction and bias, we are always 95% accurate based on direction and entry of the market. So here now, what do we have? If you are new in this channel, I've always said this, right? Whenever a structure is broken, market always go back to take out all the internal structures before continuation to the downside. For example, now let's assume that this market is moving to the downside. Remember, this is a low, right? After going to the upside, before any other thing, the market will create moves like this before this break to the downside. After this break must have occurred, what do you expect the market to do? The market will now go back inside to take out all these internal structures, using them as liquidity, coming back to where the initial order started, or which is going to have fair value gap order block before more continuation to the downside. And that's exactly what EURUSD has done. Now, when you look at it, you will discover that, let's start from this particular place. You will discover that after EURUSD, this structure was taken. Let me just mark this place, this break of structure. Once it was taken, what next did you see? The market came in to take out all this internal structure. Now, it took out this particular one. It used it as liquidity. Then the market now broke this structure again. What happened? It came back, took all these internal structures as liquidity, coming back to order block before more continuation to the downside. And after the market took out this low, what do you expect? Breaking this structure, what do you expect? You should be expecting the market to go inside and take out all the internal structures before continuation to the downside. And that's exactly what the market has done. The market took out all these internal structures, coming back to this resistance and also order block before more continuation to the downside. So we were expecting this market to go more to the upside, to come and clear more than I think 2 or 3 highs before continuation to the downside, but the market has already cleared only the internal structures and decided to continue moving to the downside. That is why I always say in trading is reactive and not predictive. So always follow whatever the market is giving you. So what do we have here now? When we drop down to 1 hour, we can discover that how this market now, the market changed from creating series of lower lows and lower highs to creating higher highs and higher lows. But currently, the market now has shifted its trend from creating higher highs and higher lows to now start creating lower lows and lower highs. Now, the market is currently reacting from this particular order block that I told us about on Sunday, telling you the reason why we should not neglect this order block on 1 hour, because on Sunday I covered why we should be looking at this order block, because we could see that reaction from that particular place, and that's exactly what the market has done. Now, and during this move to the upside, we can actually figure out the place that we have very good liquidity that took out low, right? When we get to 15 minutes, we can, okay, let's go back to 1 hour. When we get to this 1 hour, you can discover that this was a very strong low, right? Was a very strong low that took out this particular liquidity. And what we don't want to see is market going below it. And currently, market has gone below it, which is now giving us a very good change of character. So here now, I will identify it as change of character, right? So we should be expecting more bearish movement to the downside. Now, from what we are seeing right now, and when we get to 4 hours, we can see that all this move that happened at this particular place, market covered all the gaps left, right? Leaving only this particular one open, which I covered last week, on Sunday last week, that the market could decide to come to this particular place. So this move that we are seeing currently going to the downside, if this market is going to continue going to the downside, this is where it is going to be determined. If it will return going to the upside to take out some internal structures created on daily time frame, this is also where it will be decided. Now look at that fair value gap on daily, which I covered in my previous analysis, telling us to expect market to come to cover that particular gap. So the market is coming to cover this gap. So this sell we are seeing, definitely it is coming to this particular place. Since you have known the direction of the market, what do? You look for opportunity to continue taking it to the downside. Then coupled with what we already seen on our DSY, which we are going to see just in few minutes, and because it's giving us more confluence, showing us why this market will still continue going to the downside. By the way, if you have not subscribed, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, share, comment, because your like, share, and comment motivates us to make more free educational videos like this. So let's proceed. Now, since we are expecting this market to come to this particular place, what do? Then we start looking for more sell opportunity. So now let's drop down to 1 hour. Now, where are you seeing that order block? We are seeing that order block at this particular place. Now, let's mark that order block. Now, since we have this order block, as you can see, we are seeing that fair value gap here. So that's what is making this order block very strong. And I have said something time with that number. If this is your first time coming to this channel, whenever you have order block and you have wicks like this above it, you treat all of them as one. So this is what we have now. So in this situation, what do we do? Please remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. This is the first place that I'll be looking for that sell opportunity. But I'm not going to take this sell to this downside until something happens that particular place. Remember, liquidity. Liquidity has to be taken at this particular place before I confirm this zone strong for me to start selling from. What are we expecting? We are expecting something like this to happen, right? Then we start taking it from here before coming to this particular place. So without this taking any liquidity, internal liquidity, I'm not going to be taking this setup. So expect a move like this and possibly tomorrow, because the momentum is already gone in the market. So you should be expecting something like this in the market. This is only valid structure that we have, because this order block has been filled. This order block has been filled on 1 hour. This order block, okay, let's look at it. Okay, we can use this as a order block just in some cases because it has this gap here. But I'm not sure the market is gonna come to this particular place because of what? We don't have any active price here because all these places are already closed. So this is the first place that I'll be looking for more sell continuation from. So on EURUSD, this is what I am expecting, because I'm expecting the market to come to this particular place. Remember, trading is reactive and not predictive, and don't be greedy in the market. 3-to-1 risk reward is more than okay in the market. So on EURUSD, this is what I'm expecting. Then you can actually start targeting to take out this low, but it is very risky because on that 4 hours we can see this order block very clear. And when we talk about order block on 4 hours, they are always very strong. So I'll be taking my profit before this order block so that a winning trade will not turn to a losing trade. So this is my setup on Euro USD. Now the same thing I have on GBP USD, right? Now on GBP USD, the trend of the market has changed from bullish to now bearish because of the market has gone below this low. So if this market, which I'm seeing, it has already closed below it, right? Because this is 4 hours closing time. So this market had already gone below this, and on 1 hour it has already closed also below it. So the trend of this market has changed. Now I'm going to be explaining how the trend of the market has changed, because this is a very good change of character so that you will know what you are doing in the market. Now when we go to daily, let's start from daily. When we get to daily, we can see that this market still have open price at this particular place, which is fair value gap here, right? And this is what we were expecting this market, where we were expecting this market to come to. Now, when we look at it strategically, we can see that we have that equal low that was taken out here, which I spoke about. By the way, I spoke about GBPUSD when the market was at this particular place, explaining all the reasons why we should be expecting this high to be taken out. Because in the market, whenever we have equal highs, right, and equal lows, it serves as a price magnet, because market makers always come for equal highs and equal lows because they know that there are so many stop loss above it and there are so many stop loss below it for retail traders. So they know that, so they will always come for it to use their money as a momentum, as a push, as a fuel to push the market to the right direction. So the market took out this high, and I explained about I analyzed this on GBP USD, explaining all the reasons why we should be seeing this movement to the low, to the downside. Why? Because this equal highs has been taken out, and next thing the market is going to target is this equal lows, which market did the same thing. Now, in my previous analysis and video, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting this particular zone to now hold as resistance. Remember, whenever a support is broken, definitely is going to turn as resistance. So that's exactly what we are currently seeing in this market. So let's move down to 4 hours. Now, on 4 hours, remember, whenever a structure is broken on 4 hours, it will come and use all the internal structures as liquidity before continuation to the downside. Now, when we look at this, now where are you seeing that order block? We are seeing that order block with that fair value gap at this particular place. Look at that small fair value gap there. Look at it there, right? So this market right now is reacting from this order block, and this order block has pushed this market to the downside. Now, I want you to understand all these things before we start looking for more continuation, or for me to explain to you what we are to be expecting on GBP USD. Now, remember, whenever a structure is taken on 4 hours, it will come back to take out the internal structure created before that move to the downside. And where are we seeing that internal structure? This happens to be the internal structure. So let's move down to 1 hour. Now, when you look at it right now, this happened to be what? A valid breakout structure because of what? This high swept liquidity and moved to the downside. So the market came back, taking out these internal highs, this one and these two, coming back to that other block before continuation to the downside. And during that move to the upside, I want you to observe something, right? This market was creating series of higher highs and higher lows, and all of a sudden, this low took out this liquidity, which I covered during my analysis last Wednesday, explaining all the reasons why we should be expecting a pullback from this order block to this order block rather before we see this continuation to the upside. Market has done exactly the same. Now, what we never wanted to see is market going below this, because this is what is going to give us a change of character if market eventually goes below it, because this low is a very strong low that swept liquidity, because this low created a new higher high. But guess what? Market has already gone below it. So this is where our change of character has occurred. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to look for opportunity to continue taking it to the downside. So 4 hours, let's see if we have a very good order block. This order block is already mitigated. Let's go back to 1 hour. This 1 hour, okay, let's see 30 minutes. Okay, on 30 minutes, we have a good order block there now. Now, this is a order block on 30 minutes because it has a very good fair value gap there. And when you look at it right now, from here to here, we don't have any other value order block. Let's go to 1 hour to see. There is no other value order block. Let's go to 15 minutes. No other value order block. So we should be expecting that pullback tomorrow before more continuation today downside. Please don't look for any other buy. Despite market is reactive and not predictive. So, but just be careful. I have a very good certain conviction based on what the price is giving to me that the market will continue moving to the downside, considering what our DSY is showing us, which we are going to go to just in few minutes. So since we have this right now, what are we going to expect? I'm going to be looking for sell opportunity at this particular place. My stop loss just above this high, right? To give the market more room to breathe. And I'm going to be targeting, let me see. Okay, now it is more interesting this particular place. Why? Because we don't have any other valid order block, so we should be expecting this more sell to take out this low, right? But don't be greedy in the market. Through 3 to 1 risk reward is okay. Don't be targeting all these things we are seeing. Now let's go to that 30 minutes we saw that order block and refine a little, right? You can just refine things a little and be looking for that 3 to 1 risk reward is okay, right? But if you still want to hold, you can hold to take out this low because we don't have any valid order block. Okay, let's check what daily. Oh, okay. This is not that block, but we should respect it. We should respect it. But this is not that block because on 4 hours we are not seeing any other block. Let's check 1 hour. There is no other block. We should be expecting this low to be taken out. So, but let me say it again, don't be greedy in the market and considering what we have here. Now, remember, whenever we have equal low, market always come for it. So we should be expecting this low to be cleared. Definitely, I'm certain about that because of what the market is giving to us. So we should be expecting more bearish continuation coupled with what DSY is showing us. Now, on Sunday, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting dollar to be very strong. Why? Our DSY is what determines the strength of the dollar. Whenever it is buying, you buy. You know that dollar is going to be very strong or against other peers. Whenever it is selling, you know that dollar is going to be weak. Now let's quickly run a little analysis so that if you can analyze DSY, right, you can actually analyze any other dollar pair currency. Now, when we look at this, now let's go to weekly. When we look at weekly, right? Now, this market was creating series of lower lows and lower highs. Let's delete this because it was on Sunday that I told us that we should be expecting dollar to come and clear this high. But let's delete it. We are coming to that. Now, let's delete everything. Now, this is our weekly chart on DSY, right? As you can see, this market is creating series of lower lows and lower highs. Now, on daily, something happened, right? This market created a very good break of structure at this particular place. And we were not expecting markets to go above this particular place because this market gave us this valid break of structure. Let's identify it very well. And after this break of structure, then it came to take out this internal liquidity. So this is a very good liquidity sweep, giving us this high. And whenever we see a high or low that swept liquidity, we don't want to see market go above it. Whether it closed or it didn't close is always risky, but much strong confirmation is closing above it. So when we saw this, right, we discovered that the market went above this. And watch something. This low that the market was respecting, market just cleared it as what? As a liquidity. And the next thing, the market went above this. This is where the change of character happened. So here we are going to identify it also as a liquidity sweep. Now, DSY is more understandable. If you can analyze it, that is what will give you direction of USD. Let me say it again. You know, this is something that advanced something we teach in our private classes, but I'm just giving it out for free here so that you can be enjoying your profit in Forex markets. So in this situation now, we saw this is a change of character because on 4 hours, it closed on 4 hours. Look at that candle close on 4 hours. You've seen it. So because of we saw this close on 4 hours, we knew that the trend of this market has changed. And whenever the market successfully breaks any strong high, because this was a very strong high on weekly and also daily, and also on daily, we didn't want to see market go above it, and market went above it. So after breaking this, what do you expect for the market to do? Is for the market to rest. Now when you go to 4 hours, you will discover that for this market to rest, is going to take out some internal structures. Where are you seeing that internal structures? We are seeing those internal structures at this particular place, right? These lows here. Now, when you look at this, I know that some people will be saying, will be asking, why didn't you mark this as internal structure? Now, let me explain because this is going to clarify things for you in the market. Now, if we are to use this particular place, we should have seen a very good valued fair value gap, but we didn't have this we didn't see any valued fair value gap. Now the only place we are seeing this valued order block is this, because of this fair value gap, right? So this gave us confluence, and I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting these markets to be going to the upside, making dollar to be very strong. I would strongly recommend you to go to my previous video, because there you are going to learn a lot. So in this particular place we are seeing, right, market came to this particular place. What do you expect? You expect it to go to the upside, which caused dollar to be very, very strong. So in this situation, we are expecting this market to make a new high. But remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. So we are expecting this to happen, despite this market is going to react at this particular place heavily before break to the upside. But if this market decides to take it to the downside, there is still nothing to worry about, because on Sunday I will still be updating us what to expect in the market. So this is how DSY controls the market, controls US pairs. Now when we go to daily, we can see that here there is no valid order block. So if this market eventually breaks this, then it is coming for this high here, right? So expect it to come for this high. That is opening more room for USD to be more stronger. That is why you can see that on GBP USD, the trend had already changed. So we should also be expecting this low to be tested, right? So this is what you have to understand, and that's why also BTC is also selling against dollar heavily. So you should always understand this. And considering what we are seeing on weekly time frame, as you can see, we are seeing that there is no valid order block on weekly here. Then when we get to monthly, we can also see that this is a continuation of already existing sell price action, right? When we get to Euro USD also, you will discover that this is what continuation of sell existing action. So, and we are to expect, expect this market to come to this resistance, turn into support. So I want us to understand all this, right, while challenging the market during the week. So please and please remember that trading is reactive and not predictive. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification button, so that whenever we share any trading idea, you'll be the first to get it. And if this market first of all comes to this particular place before getting to this place, please discard this setup, right? Because the market could decide to take it out. But if the market comes to this particular place before getting to this place, look for the opportunity at this particular place. So this is my setup on Euro USD. When we get to GBP USD, this is the setup that I'm also expecting, right? And when we get to gold, this is what I am expecting. As you can see now, this market is really reacting at this particular place, but we are going to see what is going to be doing. And please, some of the viewers that drop some pairs that want us to cover, you don't have anything to worry about. Definitely, we are going to cover it for you on Sunday, right? And if you want any other pair that you want us to cover for you, drop it in comment section. Definitely, we are going to select those pairs and cover it for you people on Sunday to have a wonderful, profitable week ahead.